to another Wednesday right here with myself, Leon Street, and today is visionary marketing, and I've got a really great topic for all of you tuning in, and I guess it's probably on the tip of the tongues for a lot of you when it comes to marketing. How do you add more authenticity to your message and attract in your tribe? And I have this conversation quite regularly with coaching clients about how to create an authentic message, how to just be yourself and, get over the fear of either being on camera or putting yourself out there, marketing your business. And authenticity, it's almost like a catch-22. And the reason for that is, well, everybody's perception of what is authentic is unique to them. There's always overlaps and commonalities in terms of how society looks at something more authentic than, another. But realistically, it really is down to the individual and the people perceiving that individual. So what I want to get into is how you can be more authentic in your marketing approach. And if you've got any questions as I'm going through this, please just drop your questions below as I'm going through. For those of you on Instagram, welcome. And for those of you watching on Facebook, also on YouTube, also welcome. Give me a hashtag live if you're watching live in the comments, or give me a hashtag replay if you're watching on the replay. So what I'm going to do is just jump into just a few of the standard things as we said. For those of you following on YouTube, please do remember, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just head on over to YouTube and search for Leon Street, or I've got an easy way. Just go to leonstreet.com/YouTube and you'll be redirected to the YouTube channel. So what I want to do is kick off with authenticity and I guess the meaning of authenticity. And for a lot of people, there's no real understanding of what authenticity is. And, it's always subjective. Yeah. And so what I want to do is start off with some real research from, a place that I believe is authentic and somewhere where I can pull information from. So let's kick off with this from Stanford University. This is from the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy, published in 2014, updated in 2020. So the term authentic is used either in the strong sense of being of undisputed origin or authorship, or in a weaker sense of being faithful to an original or a reliable, accurate representation. Yeah. And to say that something is authentic is to say that it is what it professes to be, or what it is reputed to be in origin or authorship. And I'm going to break this down a little bit more. If it sounds a bit kind of academic, I'll break this down in a moment. But the distinction between authentic and the derivative is more complicated when discussing authenticity as characteristic attributed to human beings. So for me, the key here is that authenticity is all about characteristics of human beings. And so if you're going to add more authenticity into your marketing message, then it's really got to be about the characteristics of where the message is coming from, i.e. you, if you're, the personal brand, the owner of the business, the voice of the business. For in this case, the question arises, what is to be oneself? What does it mean to be yourself? At one with oneself, or truly representing oneself. And this might even sound deep, I guess, to some of you watching right now, whether you're watching live or on the replay. But for me, being authentic, it really is, it's a bit of a journey, because you can be authentic in the moment as you believe, your will to be, your filter to be. But as time progresses, and as with all human beings, we go through evolution, we go through growth, we go through change. And, I think Muhammad Ali said it best. If you're the same man at 50 as you were, at 30 years old, you've wasted 20 years of your life. And the reality is that we're all changing. In one respect, we're getting older. We learn different things. We have children. We learn about different responsibilities and people who depend on us. And therefore, I guess change is inevitable. So therefore, in the moment, you perhaps could be yourself, but then there's different layers psychologically as to what being authentic can mean. So let's just go in a bit deeper. There's a bit more explanation from Stanford I just want to touch on, and then we can wrap up and go into, I guess, some of the traits of inauthentic and authentic people, and I guess how you can be more authentic in your message. The multiplicity of puzzles that arise in conjunction with the conception of authenticity connects with metaphysical. So basically, to be authentic comes in many forms, or the puzzle, or the kind of jigsaw, the makeup of metaphysical, epistemological, and the moral issues for recent discussion. See Newman and Smith, Held and Thompson. So they've got a bit more information that you can read upon. But the reality is, what they're saying here is that to be authentic comprises of many different factors, especially from a psychological point of view. And on the one hand, being oneself is inescapable, since whenever one makes a choice or act, it is oneself who is doing these things. So whatever you're doing, you are being yourself. But on the other hand, we are sometimes inclined to say that some of the thoughts, decisions, and actions that we undertake are not really one's own, and are therefore not genuinely expressive of who one is. Here, the issue is no longer of the metaphysical nature, just the physical being, but rather of the moral psychology, the identity and responsibility. And this is where I really want to get into when it comes to authenticity, because for me, I'm going to stop sharing for a moment. This is where I guess most people, they don't get to this place because of society, because of programming, because of beliefs, because of indoctrinations, the way that you've just been brought up, have influenced you. And we all have this filter on how we believe the world to be, and the filter, I guess, comes as a result of all those different things, the things that have made us who we are up until this point. And I guess there's a lot of great authors, great specialists in this field of, let's say, more around the ego, the constructs of the ego, how that forms our personal personality, and the different things. And for me, this is why when it comes to authenticity in a message, it is very subjective. And I'm going to look at some of the key things that I guess make a person or a business seem more authentic and a person seem more inauthentic. And what I want to be able to create here is more of a discussion point for you guys to use this and pick up on some of the steps that I've covered, so that you can be more authentic in your approach to your marketing. And hopefully this is making sense as well, guys. Authenticity, I find it's one of those words that's bandied around quite a lot at the moment. And for me, the biggest thing that you can do is really tap into really what makes you authentic, what makes your business authentic, your message authentic, your products authentic. And use that as your springboard in order to go on and help the people who need your products and services and to hear your message. So let's dive in on a few more slides that I prepared for you guys. Let me just jump forward. Where are we? Here we are. Authenticity. So hopefully by now you understand it's a construct of many different things, and it's also perception of the person receiving the information, and then it's also the filters that person who is delivering the message has on their life. So let's look at some of the characteristics of authentic people. Usually authentic people, and therefore how an authentic message is created, they're accepting of themselves and other people. Yeah, so it's not about separation. It's accepting that there is other people. They accept themselves for who they are. They accept other people for who they are. All the things like stereotype, racism, and all the things that divide us. Those are the things that when you come across an authentic person, you tend to find that these people, that they can just accept the world as it is around them. Not in the sense of accepting, there are things they still want to change and there are things that they want to influence, but they're willing to just accept things, as they are, and they're open. Usually find that authentic people, they're able to express their emotions freely and clearly. And this is also a great sign of, a great marketing message. Can you share your marketing message, express emotions freely and clearly, and just be yourself and not worried for fear of what other people will do. And quite often what I find with people who are inauthentic or they have fear, and when I say inauthentic, it doesn't mean that the person is inauthentic. It might mean that they have some hang-ups or some work that they've got to do in a particular area around what they perceive, their personality, their personal reality, the characteristics, the traits of the psychology, even the culture of the business that, they want to express. So for me, this is a clear sign of authenticity. Authentic people, and therefore, creating an authentic message, they're open to learning from their mistakes. And this is a great sign. I've made many cock-ups, many mistakes. And for me, that's where I found my best wins, in the mistakes that I've experienced, whether it's businesses failing in the past, or my key business failing in the past, my first business, my baby, the one that you don't want to fail. Different challenges that I've had in business with either employees, marketing, sales, my own learning, getting over myself, just different things. But authentic people, they're open to learning from their mistakes. They understand their values, motivations, and vision. And for me, this is a big one. Yeah, authentic people, that they understand this part. And I guess for a lot of you, understanding these things might be like a paper exercise. You understand your values, your motivations, your vision, but really like embodying it. For me, that's what I find authentic people truly, they embody, and that's the thing that keeps them accountable to why they show up, why they do what they do. So let's move forward. Let's have a look at inauthentic people, and therefore what we must perceive of inauthentic marketing messages. Usually they're unrealistic in their perceptions of reality. Yeah. And again, it's subjective. It's what we believe about them, and it's because of what we, I guess, associate as the norms that are normal for us, or the things that we would look for to be the norms. But this is generally what we and I'm like including everybody in this, what you would come across, type of thing. They look to others for approval and in order to feel valued. Again, inauthentic. Why? Well, it's almost like, well, if you think about an authentic person, they don't need approval, do they? Yeah, they do what they do because they believe in who they are, what they represent. Yeah, being authentic. Inauthentic people are judgmental of others. Again, this is where separation is created. Yeah, making a judgment. This is where you'll get haters, inauthentic people, especially if you're doing something good and they're hating on you as as you're doing something good, whether it's your marketing, whether it's whatever they've come across of you. And again, it's another sign. They do not think things through clearly. It's almost like snap in the moment. And again, that's another sign. And inauthentic people, they're unable to express their emotions freely and clearly. They're always holding back. There's something that they can't get over, and it's part of because of what's going on in their unconscious, subconscious mind, psychological traumas, different things like that, right? And they're not open to learning from their mistakes. And usually this is a sign of people trying to cling on to a personal reality that no longer serves them, but it serves them in the sense of being inauthentic. So those are characteristics, or just some of, there's obviously plenty more, but I've just summarized some of the ones that I think are important for you guys to bear in mind. And they do not understand their motivations. They don't understand their values. They don't understand their vision, right? And again, this is another sign of people who are inauthentic. And so in order for you to embody, an authentic message, it really is about you, the voice, you, the culture, you as the voice, the personal brand for your business, and to I guess express it freely, express it as you are. So how do we become more authentic? Well, let's have a look at a few steps. Practicing things like mindfulness, listening, seeking and gaining different perspectives. That's a good sign, because it shows that you're open to these different experiences and perceptions of what make us human beings. And for me, this is where a lot of people, they're just not in tune to practicing, oh, actually there's a world outside of me. There's a world perhaps that, even though I think this way, there's probably another way to think, or I have a solution that works this way, but actually there are many other types of ways. They say there's more than one way to skin a cat, old term. And the reality is, when a person is authentic, you'll find that they're more open to different perspectives. How to be more authentic as well in your message. Be kind to yourself. Look, you're bound to make mistakes. You are not a robot, and I say this quite regularly, especially with coaching clients. We're not robots. Like, we are meant to make mistakes, and there's a great analogy of that. You don't build muscle at the gym without tension. Your muscles have to be under tension in order to expand. And so as a human being, it's the same thing. You don't grow just in a world of success and happiness, you grow where there is tension, you grow where there are challenges. And along that journey, just be kind to yourself, because, like I say, we all make mistakes. Drop fear so that you can learn the positive consequences of being brave. And creating an authentic message might mean that you're being just honest. You're being honest either about a success, because you usually don't like to talk about successes. And I quite often come across people who, they quite say, oh, I don't like to blow my own trumpet. Well, reality is that if you want to market what you're doing as a coach or a consultant, that people, they need to know the successes that you've achieved, because quite often that's the thing that they're looking to see, i.e. social proof. You get other people who, they want to be themselves, but perhaps they're not quite successful, or they're not going through a great period. And instead of, just sharing honestly with their audience or people online, what tends to happen is they show their Instagram self, like life is all great, there's nothing ever bad. And the reality is that, we all go through challenges, whether it's to do with ourselves, just difficulties of what we're experiencing, whether it's related to family, whether it's related to friends, your community, people that you're serving. It might even be the effects of what other people are going through, health related things, or just challenges in their lives. And perhaps, sometimes when you're sharing your message, perhaps there is the right times for you to share things like that, whether it's in a heartfelt message where you want to connect with your audience. And the biggest thing for me, and what I've found, is that as business owners, we have this kind of, the best way for me to put it, this tradition, let's say societal tradition, where we kind of think in this 9-to-5 mentality. It's changed quite a lot recently, and there is a big shift, especially with the coming millennial, age of entrepreneurs. But there's this perception of 9-to-5, and especially I think with the lockdowns more recently, most people don't think just that way, but it still exists. Yeah, it hasn't disappeared. But the 9-to-5 professional mentality, where I remember, regularly I would turn up to my office, and I wouldn't even dream of having like a home office. I'd have to have a separate office. I'd wear a suit, 3-piece suit, 2-piece suit, shirt, tie, that kind of stuff. And the thing is, this was a construct of what I thought I needed to be, rather than just being myself. Whereas, you can see me right now. I'm at my home office right now, just chilling. I've got my slippers on right now, very comfortable, and just being me. And the more that you can drop the fear of just being you and turning up as you, I feel comfortable in a t-shirt and jeans. It's comfy clothing for me. It might be a tracksuit on other days, yeah. And it might be that for you, just being you, might be that it is a shirt and tie and suit, or whatever it is you enjoy wearing. It might be that you want to show up everywhere in a Batman suit. That's okay by me as well. But the point I want to get to is that the more that you drop fear and just show up as you, who you truly are, the consequences of that is you'll find out really who your message truly connects with and who you resonate with. And this is how you attract your tribe. Learning from just taking a step outside of your comfort zone is a big thing in terms of authenticity. The more you share, the better you get at it as well, because you stop protecting fear. And that's what most of us tend to do from a psychological point of view. We protect fear, and then, usually an event happens, whether it's a really big event, either good or bad. And that kind of shows us that actually we didn't really need to either protect fear or work around the fear or try and avoid the fear. Actually, we just needed to be ourselves. Another step in being more authentic is go through personal development, either you, your team, depending on the size of your business, especially the people in your marketing department. If you have a copywriter, if you have people who create content for you on social media, because I guarantee you, if these people haven't done any type of personal development, they'll be limited by their own perceptions of reality, their own programs, their own fears, their own limitations. And if you want to step in the right direction, either for yourself, your team, your business, personal development is key. Whether it's picking up a book, whether it's watching some personal development videos of people like Les Brown, Jack Canfield, Oprah's network with the different guests that she has, Tony Robbins, those types of things. I'll guarantee you that the person won't really be fully open to to give an authentic approach to your message as well, even yourself, right? And my final step really is, you got to get out of your own way, and it's not something that happens instantly as well. You know, you quite hear it quite often, just get out of your own way, and people are like, well, how do I get out my own way? And the reason why people usually respond with how do I get out my own way is because we don't see the things that are blind to us, because we all have blind spots. It's like the saying goes, you know, let me just think of the right saying, which quote I want to use. Yeah, you don't know what you don't know. And the thing is, you don't know what blind spots you've got until usually you experience something that challenges you and it forces you to see it, or somebody points it out to you. And the biggest thing you can do is confront yourself in this way. The more you pick up on the blind spots of you, the style of messaging you would usually write compared to what you see, perhaps people that you admire, that you look into, you know, that's where you'll start to see like, oh, actually this type of message, I kind of tend to shy away from that, or I fear what people's perceptions would be if I was, I don't know, brave or adventurous in that type of messaging. And this is where you'll start to see, that's where I hold back, or that's where I could actually make advances and progress into becoming more authentic in my message, more authentic in the way that I approach and represent yourself online in your personal brand, as well as your business brand. And so for me, these are some of the steps that you can use. And, you know, it's not easy. It's not like a one size fits all. It's an ongoing journey, authenticity. And I guess the more that you get into it, the more you understand. And finally, guys, I just want to say, if the content has resonated with you, I hope you have really enjoyed it. But more to the point, if you need help, if you'd like to increase your presence online and create more authenticity, then comment real below this video and I'll send you more details on how I can help you to create a more authentic approach to your consulting or coaching business online. And finally, guys, if you've enjoyed the content today, please do remember, do subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would really appreciate it if you did. Just go to leonstreet.com/YouTube and you'll be redirected to my channel on YouTube, where you'll have access to over 200 videos covering marketing, sales, mindset, growing your business, and hopefully you'll find that the message is very much authentic. It's Leon Street in the moment. So on that note, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.